out, guys. Somebody's gonna pay for this windshield, and I think, Engelberg, it's gonna be your father.
Bullshit.
Released on April 7th, 1976, The Bad News Bears is a sports comedy about a washed-up beer-drinking ex-minor leaguer named Morris Buttermaker, who is quietly paid to coach a Little League expansion team made up of the kids nobody else wanted. They lose their first game 26-0. He recruits a girl pitcher who can throw harder than anyone on the field, and a motorcycle-riding delinquent who can hit anything. What follows is not quite an underdog story, it is something more complicated and more honest than that. So where did they all end up? Walter Matthau was born Walter John Matthau on October 1st, 1920, on the Lower East Side of New York City. His father, a Ukrainian peddler and electrician from Kyiv, abandoned the family when Walter was 3, leaving his Lithuanian immigrant mother to raise him and his brother alone in a cold-water tenement. As a boy, he sold sodas and played bit parts at Yiddish theaters in the neighborhood, earning 50 cents per appearance. He served in World War II as a radioman gunner on a B-24 Liberator with the 8th Air Force, in the same bombardment group as James Stewart. After the war, the GI Bill let him study acting formally, and he changed the spelling of his name from Matthau to Matthau. He spent decades as a character actor and Broadway performer before Neil Simon cast him as Oscar Madison in The Odd Couple in 1965, his second Tony Award. An Oscar for Best Supporting Actor followed the next year for The Fortune Cookie. By 1976, he was among Hollywood's most beloved comic actors, and he was paid $750,000 plus a percentage of theatrical rentals to play Coach Morris Buttermaker, the pool cleaner with a flask in his back pocket, who starts the film coaching badly and ends it, finally, coaching right. Off-screen, Walter Matthau was a compulsive gambler. By his own account, he once lost $183,000 in 2 weeks betting on spring training baseball games and spent 6 years paying back the bookmaker. He was also, by the account of everyone who worked with him, enormously kind to his fellow actors. He and Jack Lemmon made 10 films together. He died on July 1st, 2000, of a heart attack at his home in Santa Monica, at the age of 79. He is buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park in Los Angeles. Tatum O'Neal was born on November 5, 1963, in Los Angeles. Her father was actor Ryan O'Neal. Her mother, Joanna Moore, was a television actress whose career was derailed by alcohol and drug addiction. Tatum's parents divorced when she was 4. In April 1974, at the age of 10, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for Paper Moon, becoming, and remaining, the youngest person ever to win a competitive Oscar. She and her father were photographed together at the ceremony, tuxedoed and beaming. Ryan was not, in fact, at the ceremony. He was filming Barry Lyndon in Europe. Her grandfather walked her to the stage. She plays Amanda Wurlitzer, the 11-year-old girl pitcher Buttermaker recruits because she throws a curveball, and who turns out to be the best player on the field by such a wide margin that the other team's coach demands she be inspected to prove she is actually a child. Amanda is no-nonsense, self-possessed, and quietly lonely, and O'Neal plays her with a precision that is genuinely moving. After The Bad News Bears, Tatum O'Neal appeared in Little Darlings, 1980, and International Velvet, 1978, then married tennis star John McEnroe in 1986. They had 3 children, Kevin, Sean, and Emily. The marriage was volatile and ended in divorce in 1994. Following the divorce, she developed an addiction to heroin and lost custody of her children. In 2008, she was arrested for buying crack cocaine near her Manhattan apartment. In May 2020, during the COVID lockdown, she overdosed on prescription medication and suffered a severe stroke that left her in a coma for 6 weeks. When she woke, she could not remember how to speak. She has been working to relearn since. Her father, Ryan O'Neal, died in December 2023, and she later learned he had cut her from his will. She has spoken about this publicly and about her ongoing recovery with the directness that defined her as a child actor. She is 62 years old as of March 2026. Vic Morrow was born Victor Harry Morrow on February 14, 1929, in the Bronx, New York. He broke through in Blackboard Jungle, 1955, as a juvenile delinquent, which set the template for much of his early career. He became nationally known as Sergeant Chip Saunders in the ABC drama Combat, which ran for 5 seasons from 1962 to 1967 and earned him an Emmy nomination. He plays Roy Turner, the coach of the Yankees, the film's villain, a man so fixated on winning that he eventually strikes his own son on the field in front of everyone, which is the moment the film has been building toward. On July 23, 1982, Vic Morrow was filming a night scene for Twilight Zone, the movie, directed by John Landis, at Indian Dunes in Valencia, California. He was playing a character carrying 2 children out of a Vietnamese village while pursued by a helicopter. Pyrotechnic explosions fired during the scene damaged the helicopter's tail rotor. The aircraft spun out of control and fell. Morrow and the 7-year-old child actor Micah Ding Lee were killed by the rotor blades. The 6-year-old Renee Shin Yi Chen was crushed by the a landing skid. The children had been hired illegally in violation of California's child labor laws. Landis and 4 other defendants were charged with involuntary manslaughter and acquitted after a trial lasting nearly a year. The accident fundamentally changed safety regulations on film sets. Vic Morrow was 53 years old. He was the father of actress Jennifer Jason Leigh, from whom he had been estranged at the time of his death. If you're enjoying this look back at the Bad News Bears cast, make sure to like and subscribe. We release new Where Are They Now videos every week. Jackie Earle Haley was born on July 14, 1961, in Northridge, California, and began appearing in television commercials at age 5. He was a well-known child actor by the time he was cast as Kelly Leak, the cigarette-smoking, motorcycle-riding 15-year-old who is by far the best baseball player in the district, who has been excluded from the league entirely because no one will take the liability risk of insuring him, and who eventually joins the Bears because Amanda is the only person who has bothered to ask him. Kelly is cool in the way only a kid who has genuinely given up on being liked can be cool. Haley played him with something close to perfect teenage detachment. What came next is one of the more remarkable stories in this cast. After the Bad News Bears sequels and Breaking Away, 1979, Jackie Earle Haley's career dried up through the 1980s and 1990s. He moved to San Antonio, Texas, and worked a succession of jobs: limousine driver, furniture refinisher, security officer, pizza delivery. He also ran a television commercial production company. He had not appeared in a film since 1993. Then director Steven Zellian, casting All the King's Men, 2006, remembered him and called. Haley made the film. The director of Little Children then cast him as a recently paroled sex offender, a wrenching, difficult performance that earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. He lost to Alan Arkin. He has said that when his wife woke him to tell him about the nomination, they both wept. He went on to play Rorschach in Watchmen, 2009, Freddy Krueger in The Nightmare on Elm Street remake, 2010, and Odin Quincannon in the first season of Preacher, 2016. He continues to work consistently. He is 64 years old as of March 2026. Joyce Van Patten was born on March 9, 1934, in New York City, to a family already deeply embedded in show business. Her older brother Dick Van Patten would go on to 8 is Enough. Her mother pushed both of them toward the stage from infancy. By age 6, Joyce was performing on Broadway. She was modeling before her first birthday. She appeared in Broadway productions as a teenager and built a career as one of television's most reliable supporting actresses across 5 decades. Perry Mason, The Andy Griffith Show, Columbo, The Bob Newhart Show, The Sopranos, Desperate Housewives, among dozens of others. Her daughter from her marriage to actor Martin Balsam is actress Talia Balsam, who was briefly married to George Clooney before marrying John Slattery. She plays Cleveland, the league administrator who is openly hostile to Buttermaker and the Bears. A small role, but one that nails the particular bureaucratic contempt of someone who has invested in the existing order and resents any disruption of it. After the Bad News Bears, Joyce Van Patten continued working steadily in film and television for decades, never quite leaving. Her later credits include St. Elmo's Fire, 1985, Monkey Shines, 1988, Grown Ups, 2010, God's Pocket, 2014, and numerous stage productions including Brighton Beach Memoirs on Broadway. She turned 92 in March 2026 and has largely stepped back from public life in recent years. Chris Barnes was born on June 24, 1965, and earned approximately $3,000 for his 5 weeks of work on the film, with 25% set aside in savings bonds under California's Coogan law, which he was entitled to claim as an adult. He plays Tanner Boyle, the undersized, loudmouthed, belligerent shortstop who is Tanner Boyle because he genuinely cannot help it, a kid whose anger is the only thing he has to offer, and who offers it without restraint to everyone, including his own teammates. Tanner is the film's most purely comic creation, and Barnes delivers him with a timing that suggests he was not working from a script so much as generating material. After the sequels, Chris Barnes continued acting into the early 1980s, including appearances in several ABC after-school specials, before moving away from performing. He has worked as a producer and director of television commercials for many years. He is notably private about his past as a child actor, and has largely declined to discuss the Tanner Boyle role publicly, reportedly in part because of the character's language and attitudes. He splits time between Los Angeles and Park City, Utah. He is 60 years old as of March 2026. Gary Lee Cavaniro was born on September 16, 1963, in Dallas, Texas, the youngest of 3 brothers. He was the only child cast in the film who came from Texas, selected from a Dallas casting call, while the rest of the team was drawn from the Los Angeles area. He plays Mike Engelberg, the overweight, combative catcher who eats constantly, takes no criticism about his size without returning it twice, and hits with genuine authority when he connects. The character is one of the film's most specific portraits of a child who has learned to use offensiveness as a defense mechanism mechanism. During the 10-week shoot, Lee Cavaniro contracted severe bronchitis and consulted a doctor in Los Angeles who warned him bluntly that remaining at his current weight put him on a path toward being in a wheelchair by 18 and dead by 25. He lost roughly 30 pounds during filming, which is visible if you look closely at certain scenes. When producers wanted him to regain the weight to reprise Engelberg in Breaking Training, he declined. He also turned down a role in Jaws 2 to live a normal high school life. He graduated from Highland Park High School in 1981 and earned a business administration degree from Southern Methodist University in 1985. He went on to a career in the electronics industry in Texas, where he lives with his family. In 2024, he appeared in a YouTube interview to discuss his time on the film nearly 50 years later. He is 62 years old as of March 2026. Aaron Blunt was born on November 9, 1963 in Los Angeles. He grew up in Carson, California, and began appearing in television commercials at 6. He plays Ahmad Abdul Rahim, the film's outspoken, proudly Muslim right fielder who wears number 44 in honor of his hero Hank Aaron, strips off his uniform in shame after making errors, and tells Buttermaker precisely what he thinks of him at all times. The character was groundbreaking for a mainstream American family film in 1976, presenting a young black Muslim kid as simply one member of a team with as much right to be there as anyone. After the 3 Bad News Bears films, Aaron Blunt continued working in television through the mid-1980s, with appearances in Hill Street Blues, Quincy M.E., The White Shadow, What's Happening, and Happy Days, among others. He then moved away from acting and built a second career as a DJ under the name DJ Alcatraz, performing at clubs and events in the Los Angeles area. At a 2016 reunion photo shoot, he brought his original Chico's Bail Bonds jersey. In a 2017 podcast interview, he said he had only begun to fully understand the film's impact in the years before, when black fans in particular would tell him that seeing Ahmad on screen had inspired them to play baseball. He is 62 years old as of March 2026. The Bad News Bears assembled an Oscar winner who was 10 years old, a character actor who had survived the Depression and World War II and the Lower East Side, a villain who would die on a film set 6 years later in one of Hollywood's worst accidents, a child who walked away from all of it to become a software engineer, a child who walked away to deliver pizzas and then came back to earn an Oscar nomination, a little girl from Los Angeles whose life would track the film's themes of adult failure and hard-won self-respect closer than anyone could have anticipated, and a 12-year-old from Texas who turned down Jaws 2 because he wanted to go to prom. They made a movie about losing with dignity. Several of them had occasion to find out what that actually means. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest Where Are They Now? Videos exploring your favorite casts from the past.